Hello and welcome to SOFA SENSEI'S on the akhi&saltfish digital network. You're joined by me, Kavan.
Me, Rash.
And today we have a very special guest. Team Shoebox, 3-in-1. Northampton boxer, Dempsey Madden.
Oi.
Michelle, there's only one what?
Dempsey.
Well, there's only one Dempsey Madden and he's here with us today. This is the akhi&saltfish digital network. You know couch coaches, you know armchair experts, but do you know SOFA SENSEI'S? You do now. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about his career, his future, his journey thus far, and we're going to get stuck into the detail too. So make sure you stick around for the whole show. With that in mind, let's go. So Dempsey, full disclosure to everyone listening, this is the third time we've tried this. Couple technical difficulties in the run-up to recording this episode, but I really appreciate you joining us today and being so generous with your time. Thank you.
That's okay. Thanks for having me.
Let's get stuck straight in because I'm mindful that anything can go wrong at any point and I want to get at least one question in. So, Dempsey, what about your name? Because when I hear your name, I think, first of all, Dempsey Madden, and your nickname is the Mauler, right?
Yeah.
Dempsey the Mauler Madden, mad thing, first of all. Secondly, Jack Dempsey springs to mind.
Yep. Well, that's who I'm named after. My dad. That's my dad's favourite fighter, Jack Dempsey. Just his toughness, rough, like how he's just a rough man, a dangerous man. So he, I've got a picture of him up in my house as well. So yeah, that's who I'm named after, Jack Dempsey, and I stole his nickname as well because he was the Manasseh Mauler.
Wow.
So I thought I'll stick Mauler in my name to pinch that. So yeah, that's what I've gone for.
At what stage did you know that you were named after Jack Dempsey? Because I can imagine it's a legacy to live up to.
Yeah, pretty much straight away because we always had this picture. Like it was my dad's picture first, so there was Jack Dempsey up, and so yeah, I always knew that I was named after. And I used to have like these old. I don't know if remember videos? Do you remember them?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I used to have this Jack Dempsey video. I used to watch it all the time.
We're
just
90s,
talking
baby.
about,
We're 90s.
Just about, yeah.
just talking about all his his life and stuff like that. So I was mad for him.
Love that. So your dad, Dave Madden,
Yeah.
he was a boxer in his own right. I did some research on his record and when he fought and who he fought and that sort of stuff. So he boxed in Northampton in 1993, about 30 years ago, which is mad.
Yeah, so I'd have been 2. Only.
Madness.
Weren't born.
and that's where he got his first win actually in Northampton in 1993. So what was it like having a boxer as a dad?
Like as a kid, like you just remember him like with like bin bags on and just training in the living room and like just sweating in shadow boxing and going for runs and stuff like that. So it was I always just looked up to him and just wanted to just train and just be with him and do it. And then he'd take me to the gym every so often. That was it's brilliant. I always just looked up to him just for the boxing. I always just wanted to, and then I wanted to do it. I just, when you're around it all the time and you see it, you just and I was like, I want to do that.
So forgive me, right? But you mentioned bin bags. That doesn't sound particularly glamorous.
Yeah, so he'd obviously take his sleeves off, like put his arms through it, head through it, tie it up, jump like 2 jumpers, hat, and just sweat like mad in the living room. You think, what the this is a gym? It'd just be sweating like crazy. But we used to spar when I was probably about, I think I was 14. We used to always spar in the living room. So, and then I think I was about 15. We were sparring. I ended up breaking his rib. And he went,
What? That's not a spar. That's a fight. That's a fight.
I ended up breaking his rib, and he had to go to the hospital and get it all sorted. I was 15. I was like, yes,
that's
I'm better than you.
So that's funny.
Yeah.
I have to ask you. Have you ever used that line in school? Oh, my dad would beat up your dad.
Yeah, no. I said I'll beat you. I'll beat your dad up. I'll beat my dad up. I'll beat your dad up as well. But I remember because he went to the hospital and he seen one of it. This is a true story. I swear to God. And he went to the hospital and he actually seen a friend in there and he told him that he fell over in the garden.
Now they know.
Now they know.
If they're watching, they know.
So, like you said, when your dad was getting his first win, you was about 2 years old.
Yeah.
So your dad's boxing career pretty much was, I think I worked out, the first 10 years of your life was the professional career, was your dad's professional career. What was that like? Having a dad as a boxer, like, did he go away for training camp or obviously if he's training in the living room, was that a constant fixture or?
No, because he didn't take it seriously.
Okay.
So he was for him it was just a few quid. So he just would turn up and he'd get phone calls and I've got a fight for you tomorrow. Do you want it? And say yeah.
Wow. So
it weren't really. He was as an amateur, he was a lot better. But then when he got older, he started to enjoy probably drinking a bit too much.
Enjoy life, yeah.
Yeah. So and then he so then to him it was just about making a few quid. He'd just hand it straight to my mum and that'd be it. You know, he'd just turn up and fight. If you got a fight, he'll be there.
So was that a happy experience for him if he's just turning up for money, or was it? Did it start off as happy and you know?
For him, it was just all what he wanted to do. So you know, whatever he's still like that now. Whatever he wants to do, he does it. So
Wicked.
But he for him it was just about money, just a bit of money, and then just. But as a kid, like when he was younger in like, amateur days, I think he won like the Birmingham Championships like 3 times. I think he was a lot better as a young amateur, but then got older and just distracted, you know.
So talking of amateurs, then let's go through your amateur career briefly.
Yeah.
When it started when you was a teenager, right?
Yeah.
And what was that experience like?
I had my. When did I have my first fight? Oh, I can't remember when my first fight. I can't remember the year, but I remember that was also at the Park Inn Hotel.
Really?
Was
Yeah,
it?
yeah. My first amateur fight was at the Park Inn Hotel, and you know, I thought, how old was I? I must have been about 15, maybe 14, and I thought I was a lot better than I was, you know. So I lost my first amateur fight. I went in there thinking I'm going to be easy, no problem, easy. And then I got boxed. He just boxed me, and he beat me. Like he just beat me, and I was gutted. But then and then I left it for ages, and then I went. We moved to Wales, and then I was away from everything then, and I was able to really concentrate on it. And then I only had another 2 amateur fights after that, and then I won both of those. But I only had three amateur fights, so it was just like it weren't even really. I wouldn't even say I was experienced fighter, you know, but I always had like a natural talent for it. Like, 'cause obviously probably just being around it from such a young age and watching boxing all the time and watching videos, and you know I could always do it, but I just didn't have that thing in me to stick at it, you know. Like I'd do it for so much, and then I'd just be like, and now I look back and think, what I could have been, but you can't think like that. I suppose you just got to do the now, can't you? You have to just go from now.
So that first amateur loss, what sort of things are going through your mind at that point? After that, you know, your dad's a boxer.
Yeah.
You know, you're named after Jack Dempsey. What's going through your mind?
At 14, you think it just like it's all your dreams going crashing down. You think, "What? I'm supposed to be brilliant." You know, everyone tells you how good I am, and then you think it shows it. Like the boxer, if you're not doing these little things in the background, you know, like really dedicating yourself, you get found out. It's like it's just such a truth telling sport, you know, even to the point of the weigh-in. You know, you weigh in, you're overweight, you've done something wrong. Like it's your there's nothing you can blame it on. Like you can't, like if you're sticking to what you should be eating, doing what you should be doing, you should make the weight. You know, it's all truth. You know, the whole sport is truth. Like you will be found out. There is no hiding places.
I was going to say, what changed? What did the mindset change to get them 2 wins after? Yeah,
because I was away. Once I was away from everyone and like all distractions, I could just be fully focused on what I need to do, and like then the thought of like wanting to win, that urge, I've got to win this, and then once you get your first one,
that buzz.
Then the momentum starts, and you feel what it feels like to win, and you feel like what it feels like to lose, and obviously the feeling of winning is just so much better than. And then once you get that taste, like it's like I've got to have that again. I've got to taste that again. You know, so you just, and then that's it. Then you've got the taste for it, and there's no, I have to taste that again. I've got to win again.
So let's fast forward a little bit. Pro career.
Yep.
I heard a story that you were sitting in a pub and you saw Kieron Conway boxing on the screen. And you trained with him previously in earlier, and you thought, wait, if he's doing that, and I was training with him, I can do that.
Yeah.
And that kick-started this drive that you're on now.
And then we started, because I used to train at King's Eve years ago, and Kieron must have only been, I don't know, 14, 13, like young kid. And then, I was just sitting in a pub in Long Buckby, and I looked up at the telly and there was boxing on, and I was like, oh, I know him. And he was fighting Ted Cheeseman.
That's a massive fight as well.
Yeah.
That was a great fight.
He was fighting Ted Cheeseman. I couldn't believe it. I was thought, bloody hell, it's that young kid. And then I messaged James straight away. I found him on Twitter, I think it was. I was looking for him everywhere, and I found him on Twitter, and I said, oh, don't know if you remember me. Just watched Kieron fight, and I'd like to come back. Like, he's sort of like, I was like, I could do this. So I messaged him, and he said, yeah, definitely come over. So then I started travelling over to Bedford. So we started training then, and I've been training with him since. So it's been, just by chance just looked up and I just knew him, and I thought, I want to go, I want to do it. Obviously not that level, or I just wanted to, I thought, I want to fight again now. And then started training, just clicked, and, like I said before, like, I never stuck at it or do it, and then I was like, oh, I'll do it. And then, but now, like, it's just a part of me now. Like, I've ummed and ahed about it after, like, my last fight, but then, I feel just so much at home being there, at this boxing gym and with James and the lads that are there. It's going to be with me now for forever.
So let's get stuck into that start of the pro career then. The amateur route is pretty well defined. There's a few things you can do. You can join a club and they'll align you with fights, etc. And you can go the GB route and go to the Olympics, that sort of stuff. It's well defined. The pro route for us as SOFA Senseis is Matchroom, Queensbury, what's it called? Not Wasserman. Maybe like Hennessy Sports, right? Those are the big four.
Yeah.
Boxer as well, actually. I forgot about those.
Yeah, boxer now. Yeah.
But that's 10%, if that, of pro boxers. What was your journey like into pro boxing? So you say, all right, James, I want to go pro. What's that conversation like? What is he looking for from you? What are you looking for from him? And how did you actually end up in your first fight?
Well, because I think I'll come to James. I think I was about 28 when I come to James, and I said, listen, I'm a bit older now. I don't really want to go amateur. I just want to go for pro and just see how I get on. Let's just roll the dice and let's go straight to the pros. I ain't got time to be messing around like doing amateur shows. And he said, yeah, that's perfect. So he's just getting into sparring. He's having a look at your team, and then we spoke about going professional, and he put me in touch with Errol Johnson, who runs BCB promotions.
Yeah.
So, and he's like, they do small hall shows, but some of them are quite big. Like, I just went to that last one for Michael Stevenson. That was a big show, big venue, and also he's got contacts with a lot of those big guys. He provides them with opponents as well. So we said to ourselves, we'll sign with Errol and, try and get a few wins, and who knows, we might get a TV fight. You've been brought in to lose, but let's see if we can get an upset.
Yeah.
So, Errol came over and we had a chat and we spoke about like what we wanted to do, like where we sort of wanted to go, and what we were looking to achieve. And we had a chat, and then we just signed on with Errol. So he just seems to fit, he's doing local shows now, so it's easier for people to travel, like people who come to watch you.
We've been to two of them now, haven't we?
Yes, we saw Dempsey's last fight, and then we saw Nico's debut and second fight.
Yeah. So like obviously Nico signed with him as well, and he can definitely put you in the right path, like on where you want to go, and what you want from the sport. He's good. It's good. It's a good fit for me. Like if you've got, like, because of my amateur career, I've only had 3 fights. But if you've got multiple national champion, like if you get more obviously seen. You got access to those bigger guys, or you win like the ABAs or something like that. You're sort of like slightly fast tracking maybe a small hall show, and you go past that and you can start a bit higher up, and then if you get the Olympic medal, you're fast tracking all of it and you're going straight to the big boys. It's sort of like you're just skipping that beginning bit, I suppose. Yeah.
So let's go through your career, 3 in 1. First fight, Kevin McCauley.
Yeah.
Talk us through that.
Well, obviously he's very, very experienced. So But to be fair, like when he said about Kevin McCauley, and I was just so determined. You know, it was your first fight. I had a lot of people there coming to watch me, and I thought like there was just no way I was gonna lose. And he was a good fighter as well. Really enjoyed it, and he's a good guy as well. You know, we had a chat before. I'm not one of those guys who tries to intimidate or like we'll do the business in the ring. You know, I'll happily like talk, shake your hand, and then when we get in there, then we'll sort it out. But like I was talking to him before. We sat there both at the weigh-in, and I was talking to him. And he's asking me how I'm getting on, and I'll say my first fight, and he's a nice guy, and obviously get in there, and he was brilliant, to be fair, because he played up to the crowd. He's got his arms out going, come on. And then he was whispering in my ears, come on, all these people have come to watch you, and you're like, you motherfucker. So he was good. I really enjoyed that. It was such a brilliant night. I was just I was over the moon with that. It was like a dream come true. I could have stopped then and I would have been happy, you know. It was just like watching everyone hearing the screams, and I was like, oh man, this is something else.
Don't know about you, Rachel, but you can see it in Dempsey's eyes when he talks about these fights.
I was just like, this is. It felt like I won a world title, like because I've done it. I've talked about it for years and years. I've been in the pub saying, I can do this, talking nonsense as you do, like, and then finally to do it, it was like, oh man, wow, like this is it. This is what it's about.
So you mentioned that Kevin is experienced, and bro, I just want to read out his record. Yeah, at the time Dempsey fought him, he had 15 wins, 214 losses, and 12 draws. Mm-hmm. Do the quick maths on how many total fights that is. It's a lot.
That's a lot of fights.
Very experienced, very experienced.
Like 241 fights, something like that. That's mental.
That is crazy. That is.
Yeah. So like, and he come in a bit heavy though. That was the other thing. Like, obviously,
really?
he knows you're not going to say no. I think I weighed 10 stone. It will probably say that if it's on box rec. I can't remember what I weighed. And then he come in like 11 stone 6, and I was like, oh. And it was day before weighing as well. I was like, wow. But no, it was it is what it is, isn't it? Like, he's there to fight. Not going to say no. Like let's just
the little tricks of the game.
Yeah. It's like,
wow.
I've come in this way. Do you want to turn all these guys away? He's like, no.
That is
clever.
But no, it was. He played his part. It was brilliant. I enjoyed it. We had a good. I think he did hit me with one of the shots. I thought, oh man, like you can definitely feel like a lot of these guys. They might lose, but they know what they're doing. They're experienced people. Like they're very experienced fighters.
Is he still fighting now?
I think he's had to retire.
Okay.
I think because he wanted to beat Peter Buckley's record. That bloke. He wanted to beat his record, but I think he might have failed a test or something.
Yeah. So he's inactive at the moment, and since Dempsey, he's only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fights. I know 9 sounds like a lot, but considering how them guys can fight every week, 9 isn't a lot, and he hasn't fought since. Actually, that can't be right. 2022, about a year ago. He hasn't fought in about a year. Yeah.
Didn't want it after me.
So next up, you fought Phil Price.
Yeah.
And looking at the score on this one, 40-37.
Yeah, and it was his debut as well.
Okay, talk us through that.
Well, they said, you're fighting this lad, he's coming over, and it's his debut. So I thought, God, he's going to want to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was determined to win, so I was thinking, right, here we go then. Come on, this is what it's all about. Like, you're not here to just fucking let's get into it. And then so he came over, and I thought, I was just locked in. Then I was just ready to go. There's like debut, so I was thinking he's definitely going to be up for this. So just get ready. Like we're going to have to just really go for it. And then the minute the bell went, I just went for him. And then like I just made sure I just didn't let him breathe. I knew I was fit. So. I knew I was fit, so I knew I had like 4 good, like solid rounds in me that I wouldn't take my foot off the gas with him. And then in the end, I just think he knew, I can't stop this. So I just went for him and just attacked really, and just made sure like I am winning this. There's no way. So no, that was good. It was good.
So at this point, 2 of those fights have taken place in Northampton.
Yep.
Then you move on to Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get to that, you mentioned then that you knew you were fit.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in what that means and how you know it and what sort of training you have to put in to get to that stage.
Basically, like obviously we do a lot of obviously training at the shoebox. You know, we do. They've got this thing called like the Norwegian run. So you'll go on a treadmill. I think the incline's 1.4. You run for 4 minutes, off for 2 minutes. So you'll have that at like 12 kilometers an hour, 12 to 14, and if you
rapid.
Yeah. So then you run for 4 minutes, off for 2. You do that like 4 times, and that's how we get fit. You know.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm already tired. I'm gonna do that.
So yeah, so that's one of the reasons, and then also like sparring. You know, I can do 4. If I do 4 good rounds with say Ben Vaughan or something like that, I know like this debutant is not going to be better than Ben Vaughan, or I know he's not going to be better than Ethan James or the other lads there. You know.
Yeah.
So if I can do 4 solid rounds with people like that in the gym, I know like I'm good. You know.
So what's your best attribute, Dempsey, as a boxer? Is it your fitness? Is it your toughness? Is it your mental? Is it your... I didn't mean that you are mental. I mean your mental attitude, by the way.
Maybe a bit of that as well.
What is it? What's your best attribute?
I don't know. It's hard to say, like, because I don't feel like I do any one thing outstanding. To be honest, I don't think I'm the fastest. I don't think I'm the strongest. You know, just
Good all rounder.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm pretty decent all round. You know, I'm pretty good, like on the inside fighting. I'm quite rough. You know, I don't think I'm not really a boxer. I'm more of like a fight. You know, rough and ready, and just I don't think I do anything outstanding. My best attribute. It's weird. I don't even know. I'm pretty good like body shots. I've got a decent power in my hands, you know. So I just keep coming as well. Like once I'm fit, I keep coming and I'll just try and break them down slowly but surely. But just keep on just chipping away at them and just. You know, I feel to say just I'm sort of an all rounder. I've got decent hand speed, decent power. Head movement could be a bit better since the last one.
we'll get to that.
So, yeah, I just feel like I'm just a solid all-rounder. I'm just a solid all-rounder. Yeah, I'd say that's what.
So, like I said, you made your way back to Birmingham for your third fight, and you fought Paul Cummings.
Yeah.
Again, points decision, 40-36. So it looks like you won every single round there.
Yeah.
Talk us through that. How did that go? How did that feel?
Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. I had a bit of a break, you know, from Christmas. I struggled to get back into it, you know. Like after Christmas, I was, you know, I don't know what it was. Like I had a bit of time off, and I was like, the thought of getting back fit and everything again. But then, like, you know, you get to a point where you think, I've got to do this. Like, you know, you're running out of. Obviously, I'm a bit older now, so I was like, let's just get back in there, you know, and got back in there. And then they said, well, James put in a text message, do you want to fight this date? And I was definitely not ready, or like I was quite overweight, but I thought there's no point me saying no, let me lose weight first and then we'll get to it, because I know my personality, if I have a date, I'll get ready. Yeah. You know, so I thought just say yes. So we go, yeah, I'll do it. And now I can get ready properly. Like if I'm left with no date, you know, I'm such. I wouldn't say I'm a dedicated athlete, you know. Like I'm dedicated to the point of like, you know, training wise, but food, I'm just like a nightmare for food. And if I'm left to my own devices, like you know, like especially like with my work, you know, travel. If I smell them sausage rolls or pastries, man, like, I have to go. I'm just gonna look at them. You know, pick 2 of them. I think no. I bet them both. I think
We need to get you you know the car scents here. We need to get Dempsey like a pastry scented car scent.
Well, when I've got a date, you know, and I'll start training, I'll just put like, because I've got a couple of lads that will work for me, I'll just put the fuel in and I'll give them the car. Say you go pay, like you go pay it, so I don't walk in there. You know, I'll start learning to like just keep it away.
Little steps there.
Yeah, there's little things that I do which helps, and as crazy as it sounds, it's like with my running trainers. After I've finished running, I will actually undo the laces for the next time, because it's something as simple as like, I can't be fucked to put these on. You know what I mean? Like, but if they're undone, I can slip them on and then put them on. It's something, just little things like that, where it just helps me get over that mentally. Like, I need to go for a run, but I can't be fucked to untie them shoelaces. You know, it's mad things like that.
There is something you can take away from this episode. If you are struggling to find that motivation, or you find that your laces are a barrier to you going out for a run, untie them when you get back.
Yeah. Or get Velcros.
Yeah, I ain't ripping them off. Bloody hell.
Yeah, if you can't rip off Velcros, then I'm sorry, that's a you problem.
yeah. Probably shouldn't be a boxer.
It ain't for you, man. Listen, fight number 4. We were there. Crowd was going crazy. Sold a lot of tickets.
Best crowd of the night. Your one went
they're
crazy.
mad crowd, aren't they? They're a mad bunch.
There's only one Dempsey Madden.
Yeah.
Which is very Ricky Hatton. That was I was thinking, wow, this is must.
We were there on our chairs, you know. We stood on our
chairs.
chairs. We stood on our chairs and the crowd was going wild. This is when I went, next time I'm getting VIP, man. I'm trying to get in that crowd.
That made us.
Get in with it.
These guys were not near they were on the ring, basically.
Yeah.
It was sick. It was a
They're
good
a
night.
crazy bunch, man. They're a crazy lot. But, that's what, when you hear that and you hear them and you think, oh, come on, like, here we go. Like, I'll get in text messages, the train station, they're all in there. They're all getting on the train. There's a load of them there. I'm thinking, oh, here we go.
So, Dimitri Prokunas, this is Parkin again, back in Northampton.
Mm-hmm.
He was 2-2. Mm-hmm. You were 3-0.
Yep.
So, a competitive bout, but one which, you should win. Talk us through what happened in that fight.
I suppose maybe I think maybe I was just too sure of myself. I thought, it's just another day, it's just another fight. I paid the price for it. And, I've only just watched it back, to be fair, probably 3-4 weeks ago. I only just watched it back. And, I felt like I was all right, but obviously the referee's seen it otherwise. But, I think I was just a bit too sure of myself. And I just thought, it's just another day. It's another fight. Let's just get it. And, there was points like where my dad spoke about. He said, you're just too, before the fight, I'm out talking to the crowd, this, that. And he said, you just weren't paying attention. You're not focused. Like you're talking to everybody. You're out. You're in. You're out the change room. You're back in the change room. Like, you need to be ready, you need to get into that thing. And I think he's right, I was just so onto the next one. I want to get onto the next one because we were talking about fighting for the Midlands title after that one. But I needed to win it. I needed to fight in a 6-round fight. So you can't fight a 10-round fight unless you've done a 6-rounder.
Right.
So I was just, let's just get this done, and then we're going to talk about fighting for a Midlands title. So, and that's all I was just thinking about. And I've just paid the price, and it just is what it is, isn't it? I was devastated.
So I know you've only watched it back recently, but if you could talk us through the sequence. From what I remember, got caught in a corner.
Yeah.
I
think I got caught with a shot, which I think it did buzz me a bit. And I just remember tucking up, and I'm sure I threw like a few shots, but then I think I took to maybe just a bit too long for the referee, and he made the decision. In my eyes, it was a bit too quick, but he's there to look after you. But and James, we spoke about it after, and he said if you'd have just took a knee, and stuff like that. But there's the inexperience in me, I didn't think to take a knee, I didn't think to grab, I didn't think to these little tricks that I've not done. I didn't think of any of that. I just thought, let's just throw a couple of shots, but then just took one too many, and referees seen the end to it. But so there's things I'd have learned for that now. So I need to learn to try and not fight fire with fire all the time. Grab, take the knee, spit your gum shield out, something, just to give yourself a few seconds. That's what they do. But. Yeah, it was devastating. It broke my heart, to be honest. It really did. I was so upset. I was so gutted. Because obviously me being a bit older now, I just thought, that's it. I had wanted to fight for Midlands title and go on to do as well as you can. And at that age you lose now, it just felt like that's it now. You've reached that ceiling for you. So I was just but now I spoke to some of the lads and losing is what it is, isn't it? No great fighter that I've followed or idolised, they've all lost. They've all lost. It is one of those things. But you got to just come back from it, and just I know for a fact it'll be 10 years later, and I think you should have gone one more. You should have come back, man. You shouldn't go out like that. Come back and let's just get back into it. So yeah, I had a bit of time off, and I thought, do I want to get back? Do I want to do it all again and start the training and stuff like that? But it hurts not to. Hurts more not to than to, you know. So yeah, it's just now I'm going to come back and hopefully maybe get the next fight out of the way. You know, the comeback fight, and maybe we've spoke about maybe a rematch and get him back.
So
see how he likes it.
Yeah, stick it on him.
Yeah.
So you talked about, you know, those thoughts going through your mind as to whether you want to continue doing this. Interested to know, what were those weeks after the fight like? You know, how are people checking in on you? Or
Yeah, they did. Yeah, everyone was brilliant. You know, all my friends and everyone who came to watch me. You know, they're hugging. We love you. You know, and sometimes that hurts more. You know, you're like, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Just like I'm not like, but then, you know, I just felt embarrassed as well. I just felt embarrassed. I just thought, all these people just watch me do. I just felt like, I don't know. It was just all come crashing down on me, and I just thought, what? I can't believe everyone's just watched that. Like, and I just felt embarrassed. But it's wrong. It's wrong that you should feel that way. You know, everyone loses, but I don't know. It just really hurt me. I was just like, so I was just like, I'm done with it. To be fair, at first I was like, no, I'm going to come back. You know, straight after I'm thinking, no, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back. But then, as the weeks went on, I thought, do I want to do this? Like, do I want to do all that again? And as time went on, I was like, nah, I can't bother. And then it was like into Christmas, and I was like, but then like I just thought, I've got to do it, man. I've got to get back into it.
I think the good thing is, you never got dropped. You never was stumbling. Do you know what I mean? You got caught with a good shot.
Yeah.
And the referee, you know, this isn't a world title on the line. Probably erred on the side of caution. And he saved you for another day. And you got another day.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing to have.
Yeah.
There's the old adage in boxing that when you win, everyone's in your corner, everyone's in your dressing room after the fight. And when you lose, it's a lonely sport.
Yeah.
Did anyone treat you differently after the loss?
No. To be fair, like my friends recently have started to joke about it. You know, like,
as you should. Yeah.
Like which you know,
yeah.
It's I was in a pub a few weeks ago, and it was talking about. It was in a round, and it was like round 3. And it was like, oh, not Dempsey's round, and I was like, you fucking.
Oh my god!
But that's a good one. That is love, though. That is.
And then one of the blokes who was at work, and I was dancing along. I was dancing to the music at the radio, and he's like, "You dance better than you box." I was like, "Oh man!" Yeah, so
I love banter like that.
Yeah, I know. I was like, "Oh, that hurt." But no, it's like people have started to, you know, I've started to accept jokes now. Like, but where you say about people being in your corner, like I couldn't ask for a better team, especially like the lads at Shoebox. You know, they were all there for you. You know, James and that you know, there were the kind words, and they were all there for me. So yeah, it was all. Yeah, I got all my friends, they were all, you know, they was like, don't worry about it. You know, we still love you. We love you. Come on, you'll be all right. You'll get through this, and so hopefully I'll get this comeback fight, and we'll get back to winning ways. And
it just shows all the people that love you, man. Literally, that crowd, I'm telling you now, that buzzed me and Kavan. We were on our chairs. I think the buzz was amazing. I think you had the best crowd there.
Yeah,
literally. But what would you tell the supporters now, if you had a message for them, all the people that supported you during the fight and after the fight?
Get ready to pay for the next ticket.
Oh yeah,
that's what I love. That's what I love. Yeah, definitely. Me and Kavan definitely getting VIP this time.
Yeah. No, I just hope I get that same level of support. You know, I want them all to come back, and like, you know, some people that it was their first time watching me, and that's what breaks me. You know, like, oh yeah, because you know they hear you about your first one, they didn't make it, the second, and then you go, oh, and more people are coming each time. They think, no, I'm gonna go, and then they go, and then that happens. You think, oh man. But you know, I suppose now it's got a bit of more suspense now, because I could lose again. You know.
Yeah.
So you know, like when you go in there, and you know they're expected to win and stuff like that. But now it's like, well, who knows? And you know that'll give me that. I've tasted that loss now, so you know when it comes to training now, there'll be no stone unturned. Like I will be 100% ready to go. You know, there'll be no slacking now because you've tasted it. You know. There's no like going through the motions. It's just another one. Coming out to the crowd. Hey, yeah, save a drink for me. Yeah, there's none of that now. They'll be like, I'm here, I'm ready. Yeah, don't even talk to me. Like, I'll talk after.
So I can see the passion, and we're here to talk about the comeback, because the comeback is always more important than the setback.
Yeah.
And if I say the word boxing to you now, what does it mean?
Way of life.
Okay.
So, without boxing, I lose myself a little bit. Sometimes I end up maybe drinking too much and stuff like that, because that's happened to me before. Like with if I have a bit too much time off, I sort of lose my head. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. But when I'm there, and I'm training, and I was the happiest I really am. Sometimes you forget it when you're in them hard moments, hard training sessions. You think, God, this is horrendous.
Listen, we've been there, man. We went once and never went back.
And you but then I went for a run the other week. Like I did an 8K run or whatever, and I'm just running, even in the rain. You think this is the best. Like this is the best time. This is when I feel at my best. Training and having that routine, and something to look forward to. Like we're gonna fight and all. Yeah, just it gives me. It's a way of life, really. Boxing should be. If you're gonna take it serious and go professional, it's not like it's that cliches. You don't play boxing, and it is a way of life for some people. Yeah, it's just everything to some. Yeah, it just gives me purpose. Sometimes I just think, what's like so much going on, and then you get something like boxing. Everyone like giving like all my friends something to look forward to, and they're all there. I don't know. I just love it. I just love those moments. It's brilliant.
So you said you saw Kieron Conway fight Ted Cheeseman, and that inspired you to get started yourself. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't that long ago.
No.
So you've experienced a lot, wins, experience, losses.
Yeah.
In a short space of time. Was the pro game what you expected?
No.
What caught you off guard?
The business side of it. You have to make sure you're selling tickets to fight. And it's hard when you work. You got to sell tickets. You got to train. I'll go from work to like Daventry, where all my friends are, trying to sell tickets. Like, can you meet me here? Somebody's like, I'm just out at the minute. Can you meet me there? And you think, bloody hell, I'll go there. And then you go, and then you look at your clock and think, I'm going to be late for training. You got to get back to training. And then before you know, it's 9 o'clock and I'm getting in. And then you got to get back up in the morning, go to work, the tickets. Like you just, and it's a hard game. It is a really hard game, That's the hardest part. I used to think, just box, do this, do that, but like it's a business, and like, Errol's there to make money as well as put on shows, and he can't be losing money. Like you've got to sell those tickets. That's one thing that I just caught me off guard with it.
That's what we got as well. After speaking with Nico, Dom, Tysell, we thought, it's got to be just about boxing all the time, but it's not. I feel like I don't know what the percentage wise is, but I feel like it's 30% boxing, 70% sales, or probably 90% sales.
Yeah, and
because if you don't sell, you don't box.
No, no. And there's it's sort of like boxing sort of changed. Like, because I love all the old fighters, and you think they didn't have like social media to promote themselves. Yeah. So how did word of mouth and their friends and families and coming to watch them box? So now it's like posting things and doing little video clips, which is
you're good at that.
Yeah, so I've just chuck them together. I'm not really tech savvy like all this here, but I just post a few things on on Instagram and stuff like that. But it's just a lot of that, trying to keep people interested in what you're doing, and you're going to come to my next one, and say, don't forget you're getting the ticket. You're going to buy a ticket. Are you going to buy a ticket? So it's the business side of it definitely caught me off guard. I thought it would just be get to box. You're fighting him. He's fighting them. Yeah. No, you have to make this much money to fight this person. You need to generate this much from your tickets. You need to cover your wages, But I didn't really do it for money. I don't do it for money because there's definitely easier ways of making money than boxing, professional boxing. But some of them, I said, I won't even get paid then. I'd rather not get paid and still fight. If you want, if you hadn't sold as many tickets as you wanted to, you say, well, don't pay me then, and I'll still fight.
That must impact you as a fighter, the extra stress of getting these tickets. Or
yeah, because you just because if people like say like our home show, if we're not all selling tickets and like it's not going to make money, then there's jeopardy on whether the show will go ahead. And you think, and then you got in your head, oh, are we going to even fight? Are we going to fight? Like, and then once you got that question over, like, are we even going to fight? You know, you don't realise like maybe you take your foot off and you don't know.
Yeah.
You might think you're still training as hard, but there's a possibility you might not fight. So you think, oh, what? And then like now, I will have that sausage roll. So, and then you go, no, you are fighting. You go, oh, fuck.
So you mentioned about you don't do it for the money, and then I think back to you being in the pub and you're telling people around you, I can do that.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, okay.
Oh man, I've done a lot of that.
Are you proving yourself? Is that what you're doing it for? To prove something to yourself?
Possibly, yeah. I think there is a bit of that, and there's also, you know, I just always felt like I've got loads of time, you know, until I got to, I think it was like 27 when I started like really knuckling down. But the problem, like, I got to 27, I started going over to James, training with James, and then COVID hit, so we lost like 2 years just through COVID. But yeah, I think it's good to, yeah, probably it is a bit of me that I'm proving it to myself. You know, you can, like, you're a professional boxer. I remember like getting my license for, I think, I'm a professional boxer now.
Yeah.
I'm actually a professional boxer. And then straight away you go on your box ring, you're like, there's me.
Hey. By the way, I've seen one Nico picture, I think, on Boxer.
Oh, yeah,
your picture's like an actor's headshot, man. Is that professional?
Yeah, my friend Corey Dixon, he does. He's mad for he's like this. He got mad for cameras and.
Yeah, I saw that. I was on it today. And I was like,
yeah.
You're looking like you're about to be in a drama or something.
I know, yeah. Look at the size of the head, though. Just a walking head. The thing is, like, when I cut weight as well, because obviously I don't lose weight off my head. I've got such a big head. I just look like a walking lollipop. That's been dropped on the carpet as well.
I noticed that today. I was on it today at work. I was looking at the box work and everything. I was like, yo, this picture's really good, isn't it? Then I click on Nico's and I'm like,
yeah, no, that's my friend.
Shout out Corey, man.
Yeah, cheers, Corey.
What's next? Obviously, off camera we already spoke, but I think the audience will love to know, like, next fight or what's the plan?
Yeah, it's very soon. It will be in June at some point. Everything's just getting finalised now, like venues and stuff like that. But it'll be early part of June, so about 10 weeks or so out. So now diet starts, training starts, everything stops. No sausage rolls, no. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Like, you boys go into the garage. I'll sit out. Yeah. No, but it's I'm looking forward to just get back into it, back training now, you know, burning those calories now. So like, I think my current because I normally have my Apple Watch on, so just checking my calories now all the time. So I make sure try and burn 4,000 a day, eat 2,000. So it's just that's it. It's
Say burn 4 and eat 2.
Yeah, just try and eat just 2,000 calories.
It's a real deficit, man.
Yeah, just get it off.
So, I mean, this sort of links to my next question, I suppose. We mentioned at the start that your dad's a boxer, or you know, your dad was a boxer. How are you as a boxing dad? You know, do your family understand it?
Yeah, they love it. They like, you know, my youngest, she made a newspaper at school, and it was me. Like, it was me. Like, I got this bald head with these big, long, squiggly arms, and it was after the fight. But then she put in there, my dad lost and he was very upset. I was like,
ripped out.
Can we take that bit out? Ambush journalism again. But no, it was, they love it, you know. And my youngest, she started going to shoebox now, so she's starting to get into it.
Is it Thumpers? Is that what they call them? The Little Thumpers? Or is that a different gym? I think it's a different gym, actually. There's a gym in Bournemouth. They call the little kids' classes the Little Thumpers.
Little Thumpers, yeah, probably about right, yeah. No, so we get the pads on sometimes, you know, and they watch me train, you know, so it's exactly, it's like full circle. Yeah, well, I've got a sweatsuit. So no, yeah, it's like full circle, you know, and then maybe she'll go on to do it. And
would you mind that? Would you?
No, I'd love it. Yeah, I'd love it. Yeah, if she can, especially like the way women's boxing go. No, by the time she gets older, it'll be right up there, you know.
That glove behind you, Chantel Cameron, fighting for Undisputed soon.
Oh, so. Really? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I was looking at flights to go over.
We bought that on your fight day, weren't it?
Yeah,
we did. Yeah, we bought that. Yeah.
Nice.
Signed.
Yeah. Do you think she'll beat Kate Taylor?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think Katie's on the slide. I think she's been on the slide for a little while.
Yeah.
The moment might get to Chantel. I don't know. I've never met her. I don't know.
Especially being in Dublin.
Mate, that's going to be hostile.
Baptism of fire.
Chantel's ready. You know, she beat Jessica McCaskill. Katie's fought Jessica McCaskill. Katie's like 36. 37.
Still young.
It is, but
Nah, yeah,
she's been in wars, man.
Yeah,
She's been in some proper war. Like that fight with Serrano, war. Pursoon, both fights, wars.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Could have got
Chantel.
a lot right at the right time.
I think it's timing. I think it's timing.
Could be right.
I think it's too perfect for Katie to win in Dublin. But then again, does Chantel stop Katie? Probably not.
And
So
then-
does she win on points? Probably not. Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't
Gonna
it?
get a knockout to get a draw over.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Excited to see it really.
Yeah,
May
it'd be
20th.
good. Definitely.
Right. So we spoke about you as a boxing dad,
Yep.
and do your family understand? But if you're burning 4,000 calories a day and you're only eating 2,000 calories, what's that actually like? Because that sounds difficult. It sounds like when you're reading newspapers that your daughter made and your arms are squigglier than usual, you think, I don't know if that's me. You know? Like, how does that feel, Dempsey? What's that like in day-to-day life?
Well, you know, I don't tend to get like angry.
Hangry.
Yeah. I would never do that with the girls. You know, like, I wouldn't shout and bawl at them. It's you know, it gets difficult, but like, you know, my missus, she does all my food for me. Like, you know, so I still feel pretty full. You know, I'm still feel good. So yeah, she looks after. So if you don't have to do that, then I suppose you've got that benefit of I don't have to sort it all out. You know, she does all of that for me. So that's probably major benefit. You know, because if I don't, if I'm left to my own devices, I'm eating rubbish. Like I'd have to pay somebody because I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't. So you know, I've got massive advantage there where she looks after me all the food. You know, and I just make sure do not eat what she hasn't gave me. And then that's it. Then you know, but that's what I mean. Once I've got that date, there's no deviating from it. Like I'll just eat everything that she gives me and nothing else.
That's the dream, really. I'd love to just not think about food and someone just make it for me. Right?
Yeah, it's so beneficial. Mate. Like if like you imagine being hungry and then you have to cook things and you're picking and you're this and you're that and like I'd just be a nightmare.
That'd be amazing to have, innit?
Yeah, that's the dream. So if anyone wants to sponsor the akhi&saltfish digital network and provide us with free
sponsor my
foods,
diet, I'm all for it.
Yeah, Rochelle, he's looking to.
There'll be some good before and after pictures.
There you go.
I've got 4 of them.
Before, during, after.
Yeah, I've had a 6-pack 4 times in my life, and I tell you, it's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it for me, anyway.
I was going to say, Dempsey, you've got a normal day job during the day. How do you balance everything? And
you just get on with it. You know, it's. I wouldn't say I don't really balance it. It's just like I'll come home and it's literally grab my bag straight out the door, go to the gym, back home, shower. I'd probably sit down about 8:30, have dinner, and it's like bedtime. So there is like no balance. Just go. Well, I just try and make sure I do something maybe like on the weekend with like the family and stuff like that. But during the week, we're just like it's just from like the wake up to bed. It's just constant go, you know. So it's just like, it's just so busy, especially like when it comes to, and then you having to meet people and sell tickets and stuff like that. It's just it's a lot. But then once it's worth it, you know, once it's done, you think, that's what it was for.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier about social media and the importance of having a profile as a boxer. So we've got a platform for you right now. Is there anything that you want to tell the people? Where can they find you? Where can they support you? Look straight in the camera. Let them know.
I don't even know what I'll tag it. I think it's just at Dempsey Madden. I'm sure I'll just pop up if you search there. But yeah, I'll try and just post a few things every so often, you know, just of training and, you know, fight dates when we're going to be fighting. So yeah, normally, you know, just that's all I'll just really use it for. Really, I don't do much else on it. Just boxing talk.
I mentioned earlier, Dempsey's an interesting guy to follow. He does give you an insight into his training regularity, what training looks like, the camaraderie in the gym. It's really interesting if you're a SOFA Sensei and you're interested in what it's like being a boxer, day to day, pro life. You know, he's always saying, "I've got tickets to sell. I'm in this area now. Do you want to pick up?" Like you see the level of work that he puts into not only training but just being a boxer. So it's very interesting. Make sure you check it out. We'll put the link in the description below. All right, last couple of things. I want to put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
So you fight at what weight?
Welterweight.
Welterweight. So that's a really interesting division domestically. You've got Mr. What's it? Eggs Benedict. Conor Ben. Conor Ben obviously fights.
Excellent joke there.
Cracking joke. He fights at
I can't
welterweight.
think of one.
Rochelle's brain scrambled.
Yes.
So, yeah, Conor Ben obviously fights in your division, in case anyone hasn't caught that hint. Thoughts on that whole debacle?
Listen, if my missus can do my food and I don't break any rules and stuff like that, and you're a multi-million athlete, you shouldn't be. You can't. It's just nonsense.
Simple.
Like, you've got no excuse.
Everyone
And I
knows
think all of them, like where they say, "Oh, Canelo had the meat," and it's like, well, let's all go to Mexico then.
Yeah.
So what happens if a non-Mexican goes there and now he's found? It's just nonsense. For me, and he's like trying to prove his innocence. You think all they proved was that he had no knowledge of it.
Yeah.
That's not innocent.
Yeah.
Like, all you've done is prove I didn't know. So you're still guilty. Like, you can't. It's not for me. It's
in your system.
yeah. Like, you can't, like, for a test, like, you either pass or fail. It's not like, yeah, but I failed because this. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You failed.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get how, but then, like we said before, politics, boxing, money, all comes into it, and they're just saying, I had no knowledge of it. And you think, well,
I must say, I see Conor Ben calling out everyone in the division pretty much, even Errol Spence, which I think is a little bit of a step too far at the moment. But we tagged both of them in the story, and they both watched.
Yeah,
So
I did see that.
I think we need to be careful with some of the things we say about Conor Ben, 'cause he's clearly watching.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, I completely agree.
But he just, like,
It's
also
been handled badly as well. Like.
Yeah, and then he's coming out saying, "I need the hardest fight to get me." You think, what, a 45-year-old Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah, come on, man.
Hardest fight. I just think it's nonsense. Now he's seriously got a chip on his shoulder, and he feels like the world's against him. Like, we cheated.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got caught.
Yeah.
And you know when someone does so much just to prove that they didn't do anything?
Yeah, they're the most
you
guilty.
did it. You just
Sound like R. Kelly out here, isn't he?
This is not me, yo.
yeah, that's him next. Like
I'm fighting for my fucking life.
Yeah, exactly that, isn't he? Like, bloody hell. Him and R. Kelly.
we should tag him into that.
We definitely didn't do what they're accusing us of. Did we, R. Kelly?
Rochelle, do you like teenage girls?
What's teenage? Oh, that
When
guy.
you say teenage, how old are we talking? Bro, when you
R.
got to
Kelly.
say that,
Yeah.
just
R. Kelly's a weird guy.
Yeah,
And that wasn't
yeah.
me, by the way. That wasn't me. That was me being R. Kelly.
Quote.
Yeah, we'll get him on and say, how do you like your eggs? What do you mean eggs? How many?
the joke is, he did an interview with GQ, and he said, I don't really eat meat. I have fish every now and then, and I have the odd omelette. Bro, if you have the odd omelette, yeah, people are saying in your report, you mentioned 34 eggs a day. Bro, do you know how big the omelette is?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from Conor Ben. Michael McKinson, also in your division,
Yeah.
technical boxer. How do you fare against him?
Oh, well, he's up there, isn't he? Like, I wouldn't even like to say, he's proper up there. He's I'm nowhere near on his level, but cute boxers like that, I'll be honest, I'd definitely struggle.
Okay.
I need somebody who's going to come forward and like have a fight with me. So I would definitely, be honest with you, I would struggle definitely. But I'd go in there and I'd give it everything. And what would be.
So final one then in the division. You wanted someone who come forward and fight you. Mm-hmm. Florian Markey?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another one who I have actually sparred.
Go on.
Stevie McKenna.
Okay, how did that go?
Pretty good.
Love that.
Pretty good.
Love that.
Definitely.
And he's a rough, tough guy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd relish that.
You take that fight?
Yeah.
You heard it here first. SOFA Senseis. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is the realities of boxing. We've spoken about what it is to train, what it means to sell tickets, become a name, the ups, the downs. Mm-hmm. But that's all in the moment.
Yeah.
A lot of those things. And we spoke earlier about how important it is to be in the moment and enjoy the moments. Do you ever think about what the next 5-10 years hold after the career and the potential damage you would have taken in the ring or in sparring? Do you ever consider that now? Are you mindful of the sort of sparring you have?
No.
Is that intentional?
I just don't think you can live like that. Otherwise you wouldn't leave your house.
Yeah.
How many people get run over?
Yeah.
Well,
A
we've
lot.
just been talking now.
Yeah.
But I've got to walk out that door.
Yeah.
So I think you just can't live that way of what could happen or what might happen. Like I always think of this with Muhammad Ali. You think, you know, if he could look back and think, right, I'm going to be remembered for all the time, but you're going to have Parkinson's. What are you taking?
Rochelle, what are you taking?
Probably his career still, yeah.
You're going to be like, you know, you're cemented in the history books forever. Obviously, I'm not saying like that's for me, but I just think if he could go back and say you do it all again, but this is how you're going to end, I think he'd do it.
Yeah, I mean, his family were very selective, and per all sources, it was his direction to basically say, and keep saying, there is no link between Parkinson's and boxing. That may or may not be true, but he wanted to keep the legacy of boxing alive.
Maybe he could have stopped maybe a couple of fights a bit early because he was still already cemented by then, and that could have helped. But I just don't think you can think in those terms. Like you're putting something in your head that hasn't happened and might not happen. So you know, obviously it's a dangerous sport. There's no denying, but driving to work's dangerous.
It's true. It's true. I mean, in the balance of in the interest of balance, you know, you got fighters like George Foreman, been in wars, fought when he was like 45.
Yeah,
clear as day.
I think it's also just look at the draw. You know, you might just be that susceptible to that, and you know, you might not know it, and then you're susceptible to those sort of injuries.
Yep.
And boxing will just like, you know, will just
trigger it,
accelerate it. You know, it's like people who, you know, they don't smoke, don't drink, and then they get some sort of disease. You think, obviously, if you smoke and drink, you're enhancing your chances of getting it. But some people, and then you see some old boy in the pub who smokes, drinks, and he's got 205. And you just look at the draw. But you know, I don't really think about stuff like that, and it is what it is. What will be. But
fair enough.
I think you're getting worried about something that hasn't happened, might not happen. And you know, and like people, a lot of people have said, you know, boxing saved a lot more people than it's hurt. You know, some like look at, we were speaking about AJ, for instance. Look how his life's turned out from it, and you know, Tyson Fury, another one. You know, say, you know, going to drive his car off a bridge, and boxing. Look at him now. You think he's on top of the world. It's I just don't think you can think in. I don't think you can look too far in the future for stuff like that. I think you just got to, like you say, be in the moment and. What it is, like it is what it is, isn't it? And just, I mean, you have the brain scans every year, so you know, if anything happens, you will catch it pretty early. You know, because like you might be lucky in today's to get 5 fights. Like they'd be very lucky to get 5 fights in a year, and you go to your brain scan and they say, "Oh no, this has changed." You know, you got it early. You know, and you wouldn't continue. So it's definitely a lot safer than it has ever been. So. And you know, sparring, James is a big believer on not over sparring. So we only spar once a week, and when you get a bit closer, maybe twice a week. So we don't over spar. So there's also that as well. You know, some gyms they spar every day.
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
And if you're in hard spars every day, you know.
It's not good for you, is it?
No, I don't believe so, you know. And I remember hearing Bernard Hopkins talk about this as well, like after fights where, you know, when you've had a fight and then they go out and party, like they just think it's that fight, you know, you've had like 10 weeks of graft. Like it's not like you should rest, and I do forget that sometimes, but you know, you should be resting and, you know, recover and then maybe enjoy yourself. But
he was super disciplined, fighting until he was like 50 years old, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke.
So there's got to be a correlation there as well, you know, like he didn't do any of that and look how long he lasted, you know. So there's also that to people to look, like people want, like, instead of focusing on like, do you ever think about this? So, right, well, these are the steps I'm going to put into place. So that doesn't, so I can enhance the chances of that not happening, you know. So there's always that as well.
And with Bernard as well, he wasn't a fighter who relied on his reflexes, and that's really important. You see it, bro. Roy Jones Jr., even Eubank Jr. the other day, David Hayes towards the end of his career. All these fighters who relied on their reflexes, to not get hit, get damaged, so on and so forth.
And there's no like, because it's been so successful with it, and like you know, there's no one like. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because like time just creeps, you know. It's not like one day I'm rubbish or like I can't move. You know, you got hit with that one shot, you think,
it's
millimeters.
That's
all right. Oh, that's all right. And then as you go, bloody, I can't do it. I can't move. So it's interesting to see, you know, and it's, you know, that's why, like, you know, with the boxing as well, you know, you watch them fight and the things they have to do for it. And like, I remember before I turned pro, you used to think, you know, when you're watching the boxing, you think, I could beat him. And then like when you get in there with like that British level or something like that, and they're so good. Like even British, like, you're so good there. Like Kieron, like when you spar him, it's a fucking horrible experience, man. Like, it really is. And you just like, I'm just getting hit. I just think, I remember I used to think I'd beat like these top pros. You think, what an idiot, man.
I still sometimes think that.
You watch me go,
get in there.
Yeah, I'd never take him.
Yeah, I'll batter him, man. Yeah.
Madness.
And you just think, they're just so good.
One final thing. I don't know if you've got anything, Rachel.
Yeah.
One final thing from me is you mentioned brain scans. Do you pay for those?
Yeah.
How much are they? They're quite expensive, right?
500 quid.
Damn. That's expensive.
I wanted to put that out there because I heard that boxers pay for them. I don't think people know that.
Yeah, so like so this is another thing like we was talking about, like, you know, pay and stuff like that. You think like you pay for your brain scan, £500, eye scan, stuff like that, all that.
Is that with that 500 quid or is that separate?
No, that's separate.
Okay.
So like you think you pay for all that, and then you get your first fight 4-rounder. All you've done is cleared that, really. If you look at it in terms of like profit and loss.
Yeah.
Or your first fight, you've cleared your medical. You know, it's your second fight. There's your profit. But then like obviously everyone wants fancy shorts, this, that and the other. They're not cheap.
How much shorts?
They can vary. Like if you get all the different patterns and like the different logos on there. I think my first ones, I think they're about 150, 160 quid. And then like you pay for like the letters, you pay for everything.
Bruh.
So you just think like, that's why I'm not in the game for the money. Because if I was,
You're in the wrong game.
yeah, I'm skinned. If it was a business, it'd be closed down. So
No, that's crazy.
Anything
All
for
the
you, Rachel?
expenses. Do you have to pay membership as well? Is it?
well, yeah, we like contribute to the gym, you know, to keep all the like it's just something I'd do anyway, you know, like to help. Because obviously the gym doesn't open for free, and you know it's so we do pay a membership towards the gym.
And do you have to pay, how much is a boxing license, or is that? How does that
I think like you renew it. I think that's about £150. So like,
crazy money involved, isn't
it's
it?
a lot.
industry,
Yeah.
Yeah, at the start, I think. Yeah.
So just to start, you think your first year you want minimum 3 fights, you know, just to pay for it, like everything, you know. So that's what I mean. Like, but it is what it is. I enjoy it. I'd do it for free. So I never was in it for money. I was in it just to say, professional boxer. You know, I've done this.
Yeah.
And one last thing, sponsors. Do you have any?
There's been a few like people who I've worked for that, you know, they've gave money to pay for shorts or something like that, and you know, they buy like tables, you know, like the VIP tables. So, but in terms of like sponsor, where I get paid regularly, then no, I don't have any sponsors.
So if you,
I just feel cheeky asking, you know.
no, don't.
You have to, man.
Listen, this is part of the game. This is part of the game.
I just feel like, oh man, I can't ask them for money. Like, who am I?
Dempsey Madden, Dempsey the Mauler Madden.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
who
just,
you are.
yeah,
Professional boxer, you're on boxer.
But I'll just be, I'd be so like, you think, oh, you want to sponsor me, and then you go, what's your look? Oh.
You've got to sell yourself because
Yeah,
the crowd.
I'm just
the crowd
bad at that.
The crowd that you bring in is no joke, man. That's
No
a lot
joke.
of people. That's a lot of people.
I'm quite bad at asking people for, you know, like, I say, do you want to sponsor me?
Well, I'm just going to click that now. I'm just send it to people.
Yeah.
Well, let's get the people to go to Dempsey. So if you want to get in touch with Dempsey because you want to sponsor him or just support him by following him on social media, we've put his details down below. That has been Sofa Sensei's part 1 with Dempsey, the Mauler, Madden. I'm sure you'll agree it's been a very insightful conversation, so really appreciate your time. Thank you very
man.
much.
No problem. Been a
He
pleasure.
talked us through his career thus far, including the loss that is going to springboard him into a new era in his career. So make sure you support and join him on that journey. This has been Sofa Sensei's. You've been joined by me, Kieron,
Me, Rash.
and this is the akhi&saltfish Digital Network. Don't forget, you can follow us on social media, Instagram at Sofa Sensei's, at akhi&saltfish, and Twitter at akhi&saltfish. We are also on TikTok, akhi&saltfish, and if you want to email us, please email akhi&saltfish@gmail.com, and we will answer any questions or comments that you've got. So we'd really appreciate you getting in touch. Please don't hesitate, and stay tuned for part 2 where we get to know Dempsey Madden a little bit more. Take care and good night.